All right, let's get
Um,
this boat on the road.
yeah, actually, I'll do that and then do this.
Guys, I'm bringing the party to you.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
You big dummy. Oh, great Odin's raven.
Say hello to my little friend.
I stepped in a ditch last night, man. I almost froze my balls off, man.
You take drugs, Danny?
Every day.
Good. What's the problem?
Yeah, David.
Oh, there's no folks you fear well without.
I'm the doctor.
Gangsters, what's up, guys?
This aggression will not stand, man.
Engage. Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Pop Culture Cafe, Season 12, Episode 308. It's been a while, but we figured we'd get on to give you something if you're a listener, if you're listening and you're still there. Actually, we do appreciate it. We do like to get together and talk and shoot the shit and stuff like that, but you taking the time to download and listen, hey, thank you. It is just myself and our foreign correspondent, as it was many, many moons ago. It was just Paul and I, not Paul. So,
It's me again.
yeah, it's him again.
Managed to make it back.
Yeah, a
It's-
busy,
it's that
busy man.
Atlantic is a long swim, I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's been a long time since it's just been Paul and I, and it's also Paul's, like I said, a busy man. So you may get some shows here where just myself, like the old days where I talk to myself, which sometimes can be entertaining because I do answer. So we're gonna start with just a little bit of news I found online. Nothing really super. Just a quick thing, and then we're going to jump into, it sounds like the most of the show is going to be us just talking about stuff we watched. Maybe a few comics review in the end and see how long this goes. So, one of the things, actually this is all in the stuff I watched, but I wanted to talk about it, is that there is a show on Netflix. I don't know if you watched it. It's called Sound and Fury. It is an animated... it's based on. I'll read this thing, and then we'll go from there. It's
Yeah, I'll look it up while you're talking.
Yeah,
I've
so
not
it's-
watched it, so go ahead.
it's a fourth studio album by American singer-songwriter Sturgill Simpson, and it was released through Elektra Records on September 27th, 2019. It excuse me. It is a release accompanied by an original Netflix excuse me, folks, dystopia anime film. Sturgill presents Sound and Fury. And it was written by Simpson and Japanese director Junpei Mizuki of Animation Studios Kamazai Doge. The album marks a significant departure from Simpson's country roots, embracing hard rock, psychedelic blues, and funk. Oh, wow. So,
Excuse me.
yeah. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because this is the closest I've seen to a stylized heavy metal.
Yeah. I brought up Netflix and
Yeah.
I'm having a look at it now, and it's just straight away. It's quite a striking art style.
Yeah, and it has that same
That's
style
interesting.
as heavy metal, has different animation sequences done to different songs, and they're all different. Like styles are all different, and it's not super long, but it tells the same sort of story in a way. Like it has this, it's a revenge in it, and that's the main theme through this through the story, but different takes on it. The characters look different, but they're the same characters. So I really enjoyed it, and what really got me hooked is the very start of the music at the start, and It's actually very entertaining. It's one of those things I'd probably watch again.
That
It's
sounds really interesting.
It
actually.
is.
I'm just going to watch the trailer in the background while you're talking. But it's a little bit like the Animatrix or Star Wars Visions, in that each segment is visually different, but it's connected.
Yeah,
sort of like an overall story. Oh yeah, look at this.
It's not. See, I went to Heavy Metal because I haven't really watched those other ones, but Heavy Metal had the music tied into the action and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's like I almost watched it again just a little while ago because it's still on my. It says you know how you get to the credits and you stop. You don't want to watch the credits, but it still stays in your view list because you still have 6 minutes of credits to watch. So, right?
That's right.
So, I think it's only like an hour. I'm not sure how long it is, but if you like,
shorter, it's 40-something minutes.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking at. I'm watching the trailer for it, and some of the credits. Some of the people involved have done Afro Samurai. Batman Ninja, which I've seen. Something about Starship Troopers, which is interesting because that might come up in conversation later. Yeah, that looks really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and someone who was actually on the Animatrix. There you go.
Yeah. So
it's definitely got that sort of flavour, but it's all kind of sort of cyberpunk type samurai.
It's got a dance number
style.
in it. It's gonna do a dance number in it, which is kind of like, oh fuck, okay, all right. But so yeah, if you checked out, you haven't watched it on Netflix, if you're a fan of what Paula mentioned, the Vision, Star Wars Visions, or Heavy Metal, I think you'll enjoy it. The second thing I got, they've actually confirmed that they've wrapped filming on Star Trek Section 31 has wrapped.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Yeah. So I didn't even know. I think I might have heard that it was filming, but everything's so quiet, and I usually don't, unless something pops up really interesting, I don't pay attention to it anymore. But there says that it was just before January. It was getting ready to hand off the calendar baton to February when news hit it from Paramount. Plus, that production has an official underway in Toronto with Michelle Yeoh starring in Section 31. It's finds Georgina joining a secret division of Starfleet, the task on protecting the United Federation of Planets. Just like a covert CIA thing, do the dirty work that they don't want to say they do. And she's just facing sins of her past. And it has shared an update that the definitely good news, as you see from the screen cap below, which you can't see and which I didn't cover, just shows that they had filmed. They've done wrapping. Now it's all going to post-production. It doesn't say anything about when it's supposed to be coming on, but they're done, which I'm kind of surprised because it seemed like it was awful quick. So it doesn't sound like it's a lot of episodes.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised it actually ended up getting made.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Which I'm pleased about because, Michelle Yeoh's in it. And I think it probably helped because she became really famous a few years ago. She's always been famous.
Yeah.
She's been around for many years, making Chinese action films and Western action films as well. And I think that might have helped push the project along. I'm not sure whether it would have ended up getting made if she hadn't been so popular in Everything Everywhere All at Once, and obviously popular in Star Trek. It was Discovery, I think.
She was in Discovery. That's where she.
So when this was announced a while ago, it sounded really interesting and a really cool premise. And things are always getting announced, and quite often they get cancelled or they just live in limbo, like so many Star Wars projects. So I am actually quite surprised that they've finished shooting because that's just gone under the radar for so long. I've heard nothing at all about it for a long time, and then just to find out that it's actually wrapped, it's like, oh wow, shit! It looks like we're actually going to get it. So this is Mirror Universe JoJo, isn't it?
Yeah.
From Discovery.
Yep.
So that's going to be really interesting. Now it's back on my radar. I'm actually looking forward to this.
Yeah.
because she featured very heavily in the good seasons of Discovery.
Yeah.
It kind of got complete nonsense. Shall we say.
Yeah. So, like I said, it was under the radar. Totally forgot about it, and then suddenly it's done. So there's something to find illegally on the interweb when I when I get ready.
Yeah.
So, but I'm looking forward to it because of her, because the character being involved in let's say Universe A of Star Trek, and how she does things, and it sounds like that character, because Section 31 is like I said, the CIA. They do covert. What the fuck's? Is that the right word?
Yeah,
covert operations. The stuff that the Federation wouldn't do, and then there was remember from Star Trek Enterprise, the weapons officer. I can't remember his name now, but there was a part where he was introduced to be part of this group, Section 31, at the original. He was in it at one time, and they come back and had him come back to do something. There was a quick little blurb online that he said he's kind of disappointed they haven't asked him to do anything about it. But I don't know what timeline that this Section 31 takes place in. So,
well, good point. Yeah, it might not actually tie in, because Enterprise was very early on in Starfleet's time.
Mm-hmm.
So it could just be that it's not viable to have his character in there. So but you might just be saying that so that I mean, how often Andrew Garfield had to sort of deny being in the Spider-Man movie. It turned out that he was. So he take that with a pinch of salt. But
because Star Trek loves to use time travel, and they do it right there with this, right? Alternate universe time travel.
They do that fairly regularly. I mean, that Lower Decks and the other, what do we call it, Strange New Worlds crossover. That's the most bizarre one that I think I've seen, but hey, to get away with it.
And then the introduction, they actually have a physical being with Guardian, the Guardian, the surf. I think that's the game, the Guardian, that time and space and stuff like that. So anything can happen now. I don't know when, but I'll be looking forward to it. I hope it's it's going to show a good. What it proves to me is that as much as Gene Roddenberry wanted to see this pure utopia of mankind, it just shows that we're not going to have it. To me, every year they create something, it just shows me that his vision has been pushed aside. And now we know this is not what it's going to end up like. It's going to end up more like this,
Yeah.
So, and then speaking of Star Trek, what's that?
The problem is that humanity is always going to be shitty to each other.
Yeah.
I can't see that changing.
No, me either.
There aren't enough people who don't want to be shitty. There's always people who want to be shitty.
Yeah.
And you're never going to lose that.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
You're always going to have someone who wants to control everything.
Yeah. Exactly. You're always going to have someone who wants power, who wants money, who wants to be superior to everybody else. It's human nature. What can you do?
Yeah, just stay comfortable in your own little world until it goes.
Yeah. Well, good news is that you and I aren't going to live long enough to see how it goes.
And then the other thing you could do, like lately, I told my friends, this is, sometimes I think I wish what was like my dad. And my dad was a functional alcoholic. He get everything, during the day, everything was done. He did his job. If he had to work late, he worked late. But when he was done, he was on the booze. And nowadays, sometimes I wish I could be like that. Fuck. Anyways, folks, and speaking of Discovery, their final season, which was fucking rap filming years ago, let's say that as a exaggeration, but they're supposed to be back in April finally for their final season.
Really?
They kind of gave a date, but I just put April because things could change. And actually, is one of the shows where I didn't really think about anymore. I just, So,
No, I'll watch it. To be honest, the last season of Discovery, I kind of half watched. It turned into one of those shows where I had it on in the background while I was doing something else.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of following the story, but
Yeah.
not really paying attention to what's going on anymore because it's not. I don't find it interesting anymore.
No.
Whereas when it first started, it was interesting.
Yeah.
It was something different, and it was an interesting bunch of characters. But it's just been run into the ground with just. Well, it went off the rails. It went in the wrong direction for my.
I think I can pinpoint a part where it might have went off the rails for you. It was that one scene. Yeah. Okay. Well, I won't bring it up, but I think we're both on the same page.
It's been documented in the history of this show. I think the point where we all thought, seriously.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And then. So anyway, folks, it's coming back. If you're a big fan of it, great. We all like different stuff. That's cool. The last one I have is that I found out that there's a new Spider-Man short coming, and it's going to be on YouTube. And it says next week, so there's sometime this week. It spotlights Miles Morales and his struggle through his own mental health because even though he's Spider-Man, he's still a kid, and being a teenager is hard, especially nowadays. It's a short film from Sony Pictures Animation and Sony Pictures Imageworks, and it stars the two original voice actors, Mikey Moore and Brian Tree Henry, reprising the roles of Miles Morales and Jefferson Davis. So, what I found interesting, it's going to be free on YouTube.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
that's the voice actors from the
movies.
Spider-Verse movie.
Yeah. So, I don't know how long it is. It didn't give a time frame of the length of it, but it just the main thing is going to be free on YouTube. You figured Sony in their financial situation, especially with Madam Web, that they would want to charge for it and get some money back out of it. But no. So it's just I'm looking forward to, because out of the Sonyverse movies, except I went back and watched the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, because that to me, that's my favorite movie because it's the very first Spider-Man. It's the first time I got to see him on screen. So no matter how much good Tom Holland is perfect as Peter Parker, Tobey Maguire is going to always be my favorite because he gave me my first vision, and he wasn't a fucked up film, right? So, but
that's fair.
Yeah. And so they're after what? Spider-Man 3 and on, has there been any good? Well, the X-Men movies, the first couple were good. Other than that, they've kind of been fucking up a lot lately. So
Sony.
Yeah,
they've they struggle to make good movies without any input from anybody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as Spider-Man joined the MCU, I mean, in like the golden age of the MCU.
Yeah.
Which it isn't in anymore, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, you couldn't put a foot wrong. Everything was done right.
Yeah.
Casting, the way that he acted, and the way that he interacted with the other Avengers and the characters and stuff. It was just. It was very, very faithful to the comics, I think. It's like, I know that the MCU wasn't 100% faithful to the comics. It was inspired by certain events in the comics. But as soon as Sony had their own way, then like with Madam Web, I think is the latest example. It's like, what are you thinking? And Morbius as well, I think, is a Sony picture as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
You just don't.
And I'm not even going to even bother going to see Craven. I'm not wasting my time with that.
I probably won't either, if I'm being honest. Out of the recent Sony movies, the Marvel movies coming out of Sony, that looks the least shit. but I'm probably not going to watch it at the cinema because I have no interest in it.
Put that on the movie poster. Craven, the least shitty movie.
Yeah. Put that as a quote.
Yeah.
Pop Culture Cafe. This looks like the least shit out of all the movies that Sony have done.
Yeah, the least shitty one. So, yeah, they just have no. They have their own vision, and and I think their vision is, we slap something on screen, and we put the Marvel logo on it, people will come. Yeah. And then blame Marvel when it's shit, so we get off. But that's what I've had to explain. I've seen some people talk about it, and I've heard about it. Because that Marvel thing comes up, people think it's a Marvel movie, but it's not, right? Yeah. And then the only one that's getting hurt is Marvel. Sony's, saying, we made a movie, but it's a Marvel movie. You should want to see it. So.
Nope. That's not how it works. No, Madam Web, Morbius, Venom. No thanks.
I mean, I enjoyed the first Venom movie, I have to admit. That was fun. But
it was, bearing in mind at the point when it came out, it still was nowhere near as good as the actual MCU.
No.
But I think I think if we're being fair, the original Venom movie, I really wasn't a fan of the Carnage one. But the original Venom movie, I think, is more fun than most of what's coming out of the MCU these days.
Yeah.
So, that kind of shows you where the relationship between the two is. It's like the MCU at its height was far better than what Sony was putting out. But the Sony movies at the height, which was probably Venom, are better than the MCU is now.
Yeah.
So, it's an interesting roller coaster.
Yeah, it is right now. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But there's all kinds of...
not Venom. Let's see how Craven does. Because he's apparently going to be the new James Bond.
That's Aaron Taylor Johnson?
I think it's Aaron Taylor Johnson. I might Google that just to be sure about it.
Yeah, sure.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah. So but the thing is that they haven't confirmed it yet. No one's confirmed it. Everybody's just through the grapevine saying this is the guy. This is who they finally picked. And then they showed a one that where they've already picked the lead, female lead in it too. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. I saw something about that as well.
Yeah.
I mean, this is supposed to be leaked. I mean, it who knows how these things work? It could be some publicity agent who's leaked it in air quotes, just to try and gauge public opinion.
Yeah.
And if it turns out to be a popular choice, then it puts pressure on the studio to cast him. So it could just be a massive scam. Just by Aaron Taylor Johnson's publicist.
Yeah.
Who knows? But to be fair, I'm not against it. I don't mind him. He was in Kick-Ass. He was Quicksilver in the Age of Ultron movie. I liked him in Bullet Train. I thought he was really good. That's
the one I was trying to just think of. Yeah, that one was pretty interesting. He looked really... Yeah. He looked more of the part to closer to James Bond in that film.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, because he had an edge. He had an edge to him and a violent streak. And me and my wife started watching that, and at one point I said to her that Aaron Taylor Johnson was on the list of actors that were being considered to be the new James Bond. This is even going back that far when we watched Bullet Train.
Yeah.
And she said at the start of the movie, she said, "No, I can't see that. No, he doesn't look anything like James Bond." By the end of the movie, she says, "You know what? I can see it. I can see him as James Bond. So there's something there."
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not against it. I'm not against it.
It'll be 2 movies before he gets settled in on him being James Bond.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you're so used to Daniel Craig.
Well, this is it, because Daniel Craig's last movie, No Time to Die, is considered as a very good James Bond movie. So the next James Bond movie that comes out, no matter who James Bond is or what the movie's about, it's going to be compared to Daniel Craig's last movie, which everybody likes.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be complaints and criticism and doubt and and spite and God knows what else.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, my thing, the last rumor I heard about that, as for story-wise, was they were going to go back to the 60s. Because Christopher Nolan's supposed to be signed to do them, if I remember correctly.
I think he was going to, but I don't think he is anymore. I read something on the internet the other day. I can't remember the name of the guy who might be doing it now. But you know what? They haven't even sat down to start making this thing, so who knows? It's all rumour, it's all speculation. But that would be interesting. It would be interesting if Christopher Nolan were to do it. But I read something. It was being interviewed. And I think the inference from the interview was that he'd been considered for it, or he had an idea for it, but he was actually doing a different project instead. And I can't remember any more than that. That's just a lasting impression that I got from whatever it was that I heard the other day. But again, it could change.
Yeah,
it could change.
That's the thing. Nowadays, everything's someone farts a name goes in the internet, right?
Yeah, but it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I believe someone was telling me, we were talking about it at work the other day, and someone was saying that he's the youngest actor to have been cast as James Bond, and I think that's right. Just looking at this Wikipedia page that I googled, just to double check his name, he was born in 1990. So that's at 30. He's 34 this year.
Yeah, the thing I read is with him, if he signs as James Bond, then they have a longer chance of him doing quite a few films, right?
Yeah.
Before he gets
exactly.
So, but like you said, it's a matter of time. Find out what happens. And rumors and rumors and rumors and rumors. Sometimes fake rumors. Stuff to get people to click on the page and read what's happening. That's what it is absolutely. Sometimes, right? Okay, so that's all I had for news, really. I mean, I'm sure there's tons more out there and stuff like that, but just a little bit of information going on there. And so we're going to just jump into trailers. Now, I have 6 that I asked Paul to watch, and then he says he watched some others. So just as we're talking about them, I mean, you can pull them up and watch on stream, but I have the audio clips so they can play in the background as we talk about them. So.
Oh, okay. Well, watch out for those copyright strikes.
Oh, fuck them. They were so tiny they won't even fucking notice. So. That might happen because we're now on YouTube, eh? Did I tell you that?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah, I saw there's through Ellipson. There's a way you can click it so it automatically sends it to YouTube.
Oh shit! Does that mean I need to sort of like put some clothes on?
No, not the video part, just the audio.
Oh, fine.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. You can put your pants. You take your pants back off now.
Take it back up again. Okay.
So we're gonna start with the list. I'm gonna start with Beetlejuice. All right.
Okay.
And you've watched that, so let's just turn that down a little bit. So they had a background. So it's just a quick little trailer, just to give us, what they do now, a sneak peek trailer, what they do nowadays, to get you all warmed up and going. So,
this is the very definition of a teaser trailer.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't really show you much, but it makes you want more.
Yeah. I got found the kids there in the choir singing that one, and then overall it was just like you said. I said it's just a teaser. It just gets you a little excited to see what's to come. They show the camera rolls and stops on Catherine O'Hara's face. I don't know who funeral they're going to. So, yeah, and there's Michael Keaton saying "Juice is loose."
I'm just trying to. Who was the cast in the previous one? But whose funeral would it be?
I'm thinking it might be the dad.
Yeah.
because
It was-
he got charged with finding naughty pictures of young children on the internet and
Oh.
disappeared. So they might.
who was the dad? Can't remember. I'm trying to remember.
Well, you ever
Isn't it
watch?
Alec Baldwin, Gina Davis with a dead couple, weren't they?
Yeah.
So who were Winona Ryder's parents in the first one then? I can't remember.
Well, Catherine O'Hara. No.
Yeah.
No.
And she's in the teaser.
Yes.
Is
Yeah.
that Catherine? Yeah.
Catherine O'Hara, and then
Yeah.
was she the guest? Shit, now I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it was the guy, and Catherine O'Hara was her mom, and then so now Wyona's the mother, and Gina Ortega is the daughter. So,
I'm to make a prediction, if I may, and I'm just going to plug the laptop in as well. It's about
Okay.
the last half of what I was expecting it to. So makes some strange noises. Well, just
he's grunting.
because I'm an old.
Is he really plugging the laptop in?
Yeah. So I'm going to make a prediction based purely upon the teaser trailer. I know nothing about this movie at all. I'm going to make a prediction that the funeral is Winona Ryder's character, whose name I can't remember. I think Winona Ryder's dead. I think that's why she meets Beetlejuice, because they're both dead. And I think Jenna Ortega will meet Winona Ryder as a ghost. Sold.
Okay.
Sold quite
That's it, folks. Done. Thank you for showing up.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no argument there. There's no debate. That's it.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Winona Ryder's dead.
No.
If that turns out to be a spoiler, I apologise.
Yeah. I really
Yeah,
have no idea
that's-
what's going on. So all I know is that the scene shows the little village. She finds the village again, opens it up, and then it splits open, and then he pops out again. What I found interesting, I didn't know this, that Tim Burton's directing it. I didn't know he was. I thought it was somebody else.
Oh, it said from Tim Burton,
No.
but I didn't realise, or did it say from or by? Anyway,
From the something
yeah,
like
I
from the
think
mind, it's Tim Burton, but it goes at the end. It shows his name. Now I have to watch it again, but I'm pretty sure he's directing it, which also makes me sell it to me. If he's back directing it, then oh yeah, I'll probably check it out for sure.
This is it. Yeah, Tim Burton original cast, but I'm telling you, it's Winona Ryder that's dead. And that's why she was surprised when she was back in the room with the giant model set and Beetlejuice appears. And all of that, folks, sounds like spoilers. That is literally what happens in the teaser trailer.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and there's nothing we discussed. Paul, the only thing Paul's making a future prediction. You know.
Yeah, basically making everything up from this point
Yeah.
forwards. But I think that's I think I'm right.
Yeah,
Sorry,
everything
okay.
in the trailer is just simple. It's very, like I said, a very, very teaser trailer. It just basically shows a few of the characters in the film. Someone's died. Gina Ortega finds the table, splits open. Michael Keaton bursts out, says Juice is back, and that's it. So, but just from that, it just it's nice to see. It looks like he full row back into that character. Just from the scene.
Yeah. I definitely want to see it.
Yeah, it's
I'll probably go to the cinema to see
yeah.
that.
I'm very picky nowadays where I need to go spend money to go see movies and whatnot. That's one. So, all right, the next one is this is gonna be a little long. Gives us time to talk through it, but this is the next one. It is the Fallout trailer from the TV series that's coming to Max. So I don't know what it is in England, but this is the one.
It's going to be on Amazon Prime
Yeah.
over here in the UK.
Okay. Yeah, it's Amazon.
So-
That's right, isn't it?
Yes, I think it is an Amazon TV show, but it'll be on Amazon Prime. I'm really looking forward to this one.
Yeah, me too.
I am a big fan of Fallout.
Yeah.
I love Fallout. And obviously I was sceptical when it was announced, and especially after seeing sort of the Rings of Power and that sort of thing. It even the boys to an extent, which is very good and
The
very
mission of
popular.
the vaults should be important to
Not at all
everyone.
like the comic book that it's based on. So when I heard that Fallout was going to be coming out, I thought, oh shit, they're going to be ruining Fallout next, as well as everything else. But the trailer looks great.
Yeah,
You
I know
the
it, doesn't it?
costumes, the makeup, the sets, the environments, some of the cinematography. I like there's a couple of shots where you just see like big expansive areas that have just been devastated by nuclear war.
Yeah.
It really is giving me Fallout vibes.
Yeah. Like I almost want to
3
go back and play it
is one of
again.
yeah. I mean, Fallout 3 is one of our favourite games of all
Yeah.
time.
Mhm.
I spent a lot of time playing Fallout 3,
Yeah.
and I finished all the DLC.
Yeah.
Fallout 4, I enjoyed playing. Fallout 76, I enjoyed that less, but it's still, fundamentally a Fallout game. I can't play. I'm really looking forward to this, and the trailer looks great, to be honest. And Walton Goggins, I love Walton Goggins. Everything that he's in is so good.
And the thing is that they're able to use him twice, right?
Yes. Yeah,
at the start, and then they put that makeup on it. You know it's him. As soon as I heard a voice, even he changes. They know, oh, that's the same guy, but the mask on him and stuff. And oh shit, okay. So
yeah, absolutely, yeah. Oh, unmistakable. You can tell it's him because he's such a charismatic character.
Yeah.
So so identifiable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
interesting.
The suits, they look. I mean CGI, but still they look just like the suits are supposed to be. There's even one of those. Quickly, was it like a giant werewolf beast that's in it?
Yes.
That's in there.
Yeah.
Quickly, just the detail for the guns and everything. Like they didn't change them; they're all the same.
No, and even the armor, like at the back end of the trailer, when the female lead walks out of the building, and she's wearing Vault jumpsuit, bottom half of the Vault jumpsuit, a vest. And the armor that she's wearing is pretty much spot on with the type of armor that you get in the game. So the attention to details there have gone out of the way to replicate an awful lot from the actual Fallout game, which fans of it, I think, will appreciate. I appreciate it. I just hope that that everything else about it is as good, like story and performance.
Now, I'm going to bring this up. To me, it's not a big issue because it's not, because in the game you can do this, right? But I'm sure some of the fanboys are pissed off because the lead is a female. But I don't see a problem with it because you get that choice in the game. Yeah. Right? So So that shouldn't be a big deal, because if it wasn't a choice in the game, then okay, I would don't care. But if the fanboys would, so that's not a big deal to me. I don't know why it should be, but people have flip over smaller things.
It's not a big deal to me at all. In Fallout 3, the character that I use looked like me. And in Fallout 4, the plot of the story is that a family of 3, mum, dad, and a baby, get frozen in one of the vaults. And at some point during the introduction to the game, they thaw out the father and the baby, kill the father, steal the baby. And in fact, just a second. No, I think I'd already chosen the female character at that point. Yeah, because I already knew that the plot was going to be that the baby gets stolen, and it stands to reason that part of the plot is going to be to find the missing baby. So I thought, you know what? I think that a mother looking for a stolen baby will be a vicious creature to have to deal with. So I'm going to be a female character in this game, and that's what I did. So, yeah,
no, I don't know.
It doesn't make any difference to me whatsoever. Fallout 4 for me has a female lead, so no issues. It's fanboys are fanboys.
I just wonder if they created in the game to make different scenarios because on the character choices. No, Bethesda has a. I mean, you look at the game that's out now, Starfield. I mean, they put so much into it. I wouldn't be surprised that they, if you pick this character, the reactions of the character, different choices, are basically designed for the either male or female characters.
Yeah, see, that's an interesting theory because I started playing Fallout 4 having already seen some spoilers and expecting that to be the direction the story was going to go. So the choices that I made before I even started playing the game might have inadvertently directed the story towards how I was expecting it to turn out anyway. So if I'd chosen a different character or made some different decisions, it might have been a completely different story.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So, but the trailer itself, I like it when she shoots him with that dart. And it was it was a little bit of drugs and a whole bunch of drugs. Just not going to make it the system's just full of all kinds of different drugs and everything. This little dart ain't going to do a thing.
It's something like a very small drop in a very large bucket of drugs.
Yes, that's it. That's it. Yes. But I hope it's good. Just visually, I mean, it's going to be stunning. And
looks good.
And the guy who did it said this took even before they started filming, if I remember correctly, the story was that this already took a year of his life. Like he spent a whole year he wanted to do this thing, right? Yeah. So hopefully that transferred to some of the character. Maybe he was a game player for it, and he wanted to. I played this game. I love this game. I need to be the one to do it because I'm going to give it the right vision. So, hopefully. All right.
Whoever's been making it has got that attention to detail that suggests that they're a fan of the game.
Yeah.
It looks like they give a shit.
Yeah.
That's the important thing.
Okay, the next one we're moving to is one, I'll start right from the start, is Romulus. Alienromulus. And I'll be honest, I don't care. The trailer looks neat. What they've done with the face huggers, allowing them to crawl and move and stuff like that, that's interesting. But as for the storyline of another, I am done with the Alien franchise. How many times can you go up against a creature that you basically can't kill? You know?
Yeah.
And I don't know the time frame when this is supposed to start, but it's supposed to start like after or before or something. I don't care anymore. The closest I come to caring about the Alien franchise anymore is right now Marvel has a What If series that's come out. Yeah. And it has what would happen if Burke survived. Now, I find that interesting because it's a what if a character that's died, what would happen if he hadn't died, right?
Yeah.
So the trailer looks good. That's my Aliens Romulus. That's all I'm gonna watch until it comes on, like you said with Flash. It's on there now. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
But I don't know about you, but no, I'm not interested at all.
I am a fan of the Alien franchise, but I only really like the first two.
See,
which is weird.
That's the same as me.
There's probably about 6 or 7 of them now.
Yeah.
So if someone were to ask me if I was a fan of the Alien franchise or not, I mean, I've already given the game away. I'd say yes, I am. I like the Aliens. But I've seen all of the movies, but the only ones that I've seen more than once is the first 2.
Yeah.
And the second one I've seen God knows how many times because it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But the others, I saw once, I thought, it was all right.
Yeah.
You know, even like Prometheus and the other one, it's all right. Nothing special. But that's the problem with the story and the rest of the characters rather than with the alien. Just because Prometheus or Alien 3 might not be good movies as far as story, etc. goes, it doesn't mean that the alien itself is shit. You know, it doesn't sort of do anything to sort of to wear away the popularity of the creature, of the actual concept of the alien. So I'm still a fan of the alien. So put the alien in a different situation with different characters and have someone else make the movie, and yeah, I'll give it a go. I might not watch it at the cinema because I'm not that bothered anymore. But I will definitely watch it at some point. And I think just to prove the point that I'm trying to make is I fairly recently watched some special features for the original Alien film. Or was it Aliens? No, it was Alien. I'm fairly sure. There's like a special edition of the Alien movie. And there's a lot of short films that have been made by like film students. And there's one of them which is really, really good. It's much better than any of the other Alien sequels that have come out after Aliens. It was really good. I wasn't prepared for this conversation, so I don't have the name of the actual short film that I'm talking about. But
that sounds normal, Paul. We have a little blurb, and then we trail off to somewhere else. So
I know this is the thing. That's where conversations go, isn't it? But if anyone has the DVD or the Blu-ray, or if they have any interest in it, I'm sure it's the original Alien movie. And if you have a look at the special features on the back, if it's got several short films, it's definitely on there. And it's really, really good. It's a female lead, and again, I apologise to the actress. I don't know what her name is. Probably a film student or something. And she ends up getting trapped in somewhere with an alien, as they always do. But it's really, really well done. It's really, really good. And like I say, the suspense, the way that it's shot, everything about it is just goes to show what you can achieve with the Alien franchise. And that's been missing from some of the actual big budget sequels. So yeah, I'll watch this because this might be my next favourite Alien movie. So I'll definitely give it a go.
Just quickly, there was like Alien Containment. Alien Containment. I just pulled up shorts. I don't know if to help the name. There's Alien Containment, Alien Harvest, Alien Alone, Alien Ore, Alien Specimen. So
Alien Shorts 40th anniversary, but it's one of these.
Yeah.
Hot Charles 6 Shorts. It's got to be on there. It's definitely going to be on there. But it's going to be, you're just scrolling through. I can't just see which one of them is likely to be. Okay. No, there's more than one of them that are good, to be honest with you. But there was one standout where I thought that was fucking awesome. So you don't need the DVD. They're on YouTube.
Okay.
So just look for the short movies on YouTube. You'll just watch them all. Only short. You'll stumble across it.
So I can't say I'm a fan of the franchise because the franchise includes every one of them. I'm a fan just of the first two. I've watched the other ones, but just because aliens. But now I'm at the point. It's just I'm not gonna watch anything. I'm gonna watch the first two. So
I'm a fan of the alien as a character and as a concept. More than I'm a fan of the movies.
Yeah.
Except
all
the
right.
first two.
So next one, godzillaxkong. So this is another one where I'm gonna have to go to the theater and watch it because it's just you've got two giant monsters and they're fighting another monster and you got a baby Godzilla. I mean, Jesus. And Kong's got himself a big, metal fist now to help him out. So.
Yeah, like a power glove off.
Yes, like Power Rangers or whatever.
Yeah.
So
it's absolute nonsense, isn't
it?
It's just absolute nonsense. But like you say, it's massive monsters fighting each other.
Yeah.
How can it not be fun? You'd have to really try hard to not make this fun.
I know. This is a definition to me of a popcorn movie.
They're afraid of.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is one where you pay your money, you get yourself a big bucket of popcorn, and you just watch it and have fun.
Oh, 100%. I've got a point in mind with this is going to be a contradiction in terms, but I am definitely going to go and see this at the cinema. And I'm going to get myself a big old bucket.
that a mini car?
Shoving everything.
That's not just a signal.
I didn't think shit about this movie.
Yeah.
I have no interest in it whatsoever. I don't care about it at all. I don't give a shit about the movie, the characters. I don't give a shit about the plot. I don't care. I'm definitely going to go and watch it because it's like it's going to entertain me. And then I'm going to leave the cinema happy, money well spent, and then probably never think about it again.
Yeah. Yeah. So you kind of broke up there a couple of times. I don't know if it's because of the background playing or what, but
Oh, is it because I was talking over the trailer? It's quite loud.
it shouldn't. No, it shouldn't matter any difference because the trailer's playing in the background. So,
Yeah.
anyways, but I think that people got the gist of it. This is a just fun movie. This is all it's going to be. So, if you ever watched, when you were kids, ever watched, like for me, Saturday mornings when I was growing up, Godzilla movie in the afternoon before you went out to play for the rest of the day. And, you know,
Really?
so this is the same sort of thing. You know, it's just fun. Yeah, there's not much more to talk about because the trailer's just okay. We got this big thing coming. Godzilla and Kong got to work together to fight it. You know, so what's that?
What do you think the big thing that you don't get to see? What do you think that's going to be? I think it's going to be an epic Godzilla.
Well, I gotta think it's for some reason they give you the aspect that it's that one gorilla with the
Oh, you do see him fighting that.
another big ape. So I don't know if that's it, but yeah, it's like
there's something that you don't see in the trailer. You don't see what it is, but it's got blue eyes.
yeah.
And that's what they're going to end up fighting. It wouldn't surprise me if it was Mechagodzilla again.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah. Kong has that look on his face. Like, what the fuck? You know?
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, he's wearing a big metal power glove, so you know he'll probably fight Mechagodzilla with it.
yeah.
That's another bet. That's another bet. I'm not
Another
as
prediction for the
confident
future.
as I am with Winona Ryder being dead in Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if he fights Mechagodzilla.
All right. So next one, Furiosa.
Furiosa! We've come too far.
And the thing I like about this is that George Miller's doing it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he is.
And so I give it I'm more excited when I see that he's doing it, right? It's George Miller. It's not somebody else doing George Miller's and it looks the same fun shit, you know. It's basically traveling, blowing things up with cars. I mean, the stories ain't super complex. I mean, this is probably the most complex story that out of all of them. She's trying to get back to her mother, to the land that she was at, right?
Yeah.
Most of it's I can't even give you the storyline. It's just a lot of driving and cars blowing up and shit like that. But Chris Hemsworth, man, he looks like he's putting on a different. Give me a chance to see. Maybe this guy can't act other than just muscles, right? So,
Protect the green place.
it's just something I'm looking for. This is one I'll probably go see in the theater too.
I'll probably go and see this one in the cinema because I really like Fury.
Yeah.
That was a big. I like Mad Max anyway. I love him, but I like that. It's a funny thing.
If you find him, he's mine.
It's another one of those franchises like Alien, where one of the movies so good, it makes you like the whole franchise, despite some of the movies not being very good at all. It's like the first Mad Max. Isn't a good movie.
No.
But it's a really good concept.
Yeah.
And it's got a pretty good ending. And it was good enough. Mad Max 2, which set the bar for this type of movie so high that everybody commented, this it's like you've got some real key franchises in pop culture and in science fiction. You've got Mad Max, and every post-apocalyptic type movie draws an awful lot from Mad Max.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've got your Blade Runner. There's an awful lot of science fiction movies steal from Blade Runner. Then you've got your Star Wars. There's an awful lot of movies steal things from Star Wars. But Mad Max is literally the only... Before Fury Road came out, the only good Mad Max movie was the second one. That set the bar. And everybody likes that so much that that Mad Max has remained popular.
Yeah.
Even though the third movie that came out wasn't the best one, everyone still remembers it. I mean, to be fair, it's like Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones is still popular after 30 years of not being in the cinemas. I mean, even despite Kingdom of the Crystal Skull and even the latest one, Dial of Destiny, which was better than Crystal Skull, but not as good as the previous ones. It's like, from my point of view, and I think a lot of people would disagree with me, but the Grail one, The Last Crusade. Last Crusade, in my opinion, is not the best Indiana Jones movie. But that was the one that the franchise finished on. But everybody still loved Indiana Jones so much that they started making more. It's like Mad Max. The best movie from the series is the second one. It's Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior. And everyone still loves Mad Max so much, they started making more. You got Fury Road, and now you've got Furiosa. So it's really weird that what's it called again? George Miller. It's just really weird that he really he had a really, really good idea that he did really, really well, and that has just stuck in so many people's minds for so long that now we've got Furiosa. And it's just a really sort of interesting sequence of events where here we are now in 2024 looking at the fifth in the Mad Max film franchise. And still doing exactly the same thing. It's still, like, to your point when you said that it's exactly the same thing. It's just motorbikes and cars and things just racing up and down a desert, playing explosions, bits getting knocked off and stuff. When you watch the trailer, there's some insane stunts. So obviously, sort of like modern day, most of the shit that's happening is going to be CGI. You know, it's only because now we're in 2024, it can look more spectacular because it's easier to do. Rather than previously, it will be all practical effects. So that looks better. And in some respects, in as far as Mad Max movies goes, it probably will be better. But yeah, it just boggles the mind, doesn't it? That for all this time, we still sat here saying, "I'm looking forward to the new Mad Max." No, it's not a Mad Max film. I know Mad Max isn't in it, but it's by the same guys, the same franchise, and it shares the same characters.
Well, you can use
another in a Mad Max franchise. So fuck it, it's a Mad Max film.
It's a Mad Max franchise film. Right?
I think it's called the Mad Max Saga.
Saga. So he's using. So it's the same thing with Aliens, right? Aliens is just—it's an Alien franchise. This is a Mad Max franchise. So
exactly, same difference. Exactly the same difference. It's just here we are, so many years after they first came out, and you know what this means? You know what this says is that we are the best generation. People our age are fucking awesome because these are like our franchise. It's like we've got a Ghostbusters movie this year.
That's right. It's out this weekend here.
It's just come out, hasn't it?
I
mean, it's 24. We've got a new Ghostbusters film. We've got a new Mad Max film coming out. We've got a teaser trailer for a new Alien film. Alien came out in the 70s. You know, and look at the sequels that we're getting now. All this time, 50 years or 40 years later for some of the others. It's insane. It's because all the cool shit. We grew up with the cool shit, is what I'm trying to say. That's why we're so awesome. Because we've grown up with this for 30, 40 years.
If using
that's
that,
why we're so cool.
Using that theory, you can say the reason there is franchises is because we went and watched these movies and made them huge movies. If we hadn't made these movies this huge, you wouldn't get any of these fucking movies because Hollywood nowadays doesn't make remakes of anything that sucked. They always go back and rip off the stuff that worked. So yeah, we can. Here's another thing for us old farts to say: if we weren't around to give this movie a thumbs up when it was in the theaters, when all we had was one movie trailer on the fucking TV and in the paper to go, these movies.
Yeah. So basically, if you're listening to this and if you're under 40 years of age, then fuck you.
We help keep these franchises alive. We got them going.
90s classics, you motherfuckers.
Yeah. So, all right. So, the next one, Star Wars: The Acolytes. Is it Acolytes or Acolyte?
Acolyte. I think it's single. I think it's just the Acolyte. Right. And I think the Acolyte is going to be the bad guy. Because again, I'm going to jump straight into the spoiler a bit, but it's a trailer. It's in there for everyone to see.
Yeah.
You want to see red lightsaber. So I think the Acolyte is one bad guy. Well, that we've seen so far.
Yeah.
I think the Acolyte is going to be the one Sith.
You go ahead. Thoughts?
Initial thoughts. How good is it to see Carrie-Anne Moss doing Kung Fu again?
Oh yeah, it took me for a second to recognize her. So I thought it was a different actress. I first thought it was the mother from the what the fuck is that movie? Can't remember now. It's this TV series, Agent series. But never mind. I thought it was a different actress until I got a closer look and I said, oh fuck, okay, yeah.
It's I had to double take. I actually sort of rewound. I started the trailer again to watch it again because I thought, like Carrie-Anne Moss. I had no idea she was in it.
Yeah.
No idea that Carrie-Anne Moss was in it. So when I saw her, and I thought, that looks like Carrie-Anne Moss, and I thought, can't be, because she's not in this. So I started it again from the start, watched it all, and thought, it is. It really is. So yeah, I'm really pleased about that. Yeah, fucking awesome.
Yeah. You cut out there for some reason.
It seems
you're cutting out.
Oh, that's weird.
This is why I
Yeah,
shopping
there.
on Amazon.
I don't know.
I'm going to try again.
Don't spend
Okay.
another dime on Amazon.
It definitely seems to be. It's a coincidence. It just the background noise gets really loud.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's something to do with that. Anyway, so now it's quieting down a bit. What was I going to say? Yes, I know that it's very popular to shit on Star Wars at the moment, and to a degree, rightly so. But I'm a fan of Star Wars. It's like being a fan of a sports team who never wins a trophy or who never wins the league. You stick with them, you know. You have faith. You're a fan. You support them. That's what you're there for. And that's kind of how I see me in Star Wars. You know, I've been a fan of Star Wars since 1977, and every time some new Star Wars thing comes out, I'm right there for it. I'll watch it. I'll watch the shit out of it. You know, I might be able to point out certain things that I'm not keen on, that aren't quite right, that haven't been done well, or something like that. And part of that is because I'm an old man and I'm miserable all the time. But it's still Star Wars.
Yeah.
I still want it to be good, so I'm still looking forward to it. So I don't give a shit what anyone says. I'm looking forward to it because it's a new Star Wars show. So fuck yeah, bring it on.
Yeah.
That's
I'm kind of like, I'll watch it, but I'm not excited for it. I don't know. I think I'm getting bombarded with so much of one things, you know, squeezing it out. And I have to go. I saw this. The one thing that made the Star Wars movies special was one thing that there was only the one Jedi left. You know, he was the last, but now suddenly they have to create a whole bunch of new Jedis. And I understand this story takes place this is High Republic. This is long before all that stuff. So there's going to be Jedis all over the fucking place, you know?
Yeah.
So I understand that, but it's just, I don't know, I'm not excited. Like, it comes on, cool, right? I'll watch it and see what it's like. I might not really super enjoy it, but I'll watch it. But it's like, I'm finding sometimes trailers are better than anything they're putting out. The trailers are the thing to watch, and after that, you don't need to watch it because the trailer is the best part of the whatever production is coming out. You're going to be watching.
That's cool. Yeah, that's always been the case, though.
Yeah,
that's always been the case. The best bits always go into the trailer because that's the thing that makes you want to go and spend your money on it.
Yeah.
So it's not unusual for the finished product or the whole thing to be disappointing.
Yeah.
But let's hope that's not the case.
Yeah. So. I don't have much to say because I'm just okay. This might be it. Okay, this is the trailer. This is it. But I think everything like Marvel, Marvel. I mean, the information about them is that they're stepping back. They're cutting. They're not worried about. We got to have 5 movies a year and 15 TV series. So let's go back and make something to spend our time and make 2 movies a year and maybe 3 series, TV series and stuff.
Well, I believe they cancelled Eternals. Is it?
Yeah.
Eternals 2.
Ant-Man 4 and Captain Marvel 3. So they've cancelled those.
Oh, they cancelled the next Thor movie as well.
Oh, did they?
Oh, I thought that's what you just said.
No. The Eternals have cancelled. Ant-Man 4.
Oh, Ant-Man 4, that's what you said.
Right. Okay, you said Thor. No, Ant-Man 4. Yeah. Okay, and then Captain Marvel. So they've got rid of those.
You know what? I think that's fair. I don't think we need another Ant-Man film. I like Paul Rudd.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we need another Ant-Man film.
No.
I wouldn't have been against another Eternals film. It wasn't the best Marvel movie, but I don't think it was as bad as people made out. Mm-hmm. It wasn't absolute dog shit.
Yeah.
It just wasn't as good as any of the others.
Yeah. Well, to give an example, they still haven't. No one's brought up the what they call the celestial sticking out of the earth. Like that hasn't ever been launched. No.
That's a sticking point on the internet, isn't it? So some fanboy will always come out with that.
Yeah.
When are they going to acknowledge the fucking celestial in the sea?
Yeah.
Like, who gives a shit at this stage? I mean, fuck me. Yeah, half the population disappeared into dust. You've had the Chitauri attacking New York, and God knows what's happened. It's like a giant fucking statue in the middle of the ocean is just a Tuesday at this point. Who gives a shit?
They should do a small clip where it's a tourist attraction now. It's just the same. Someone's making money off a tourist attraction, right?
Yeah.
So we all could have died, but this is what's left. So,
you know what? If that were to happen in real life, that's exactly how it would go.
Yeah.
Somebody would make money off it. They'd be flying over it, or they'd do like boat trips, cruise ships would be going past it.
T-shirts.
Someone would just make money out. Yeah. No one would give a shit.
Yeah.
I mean, they do tours to Chernobyl, don't they?
Oh yeah.
Who gives a shit about a celestial? Yeah.
All right. So I hope that sounded better than it. It sounded like a couple times it cut it Paul off, so it might have to change how we do that next time. So, but anyways.
So, it sounded very loud at my side.
Yeah.
It might have been. I don't know whether anyone would have been able to hear us talking. But I wasn't sure whether we were supposed to talk over it or wait till it finished.
No, I thought we'd talk over it, but maybe it didn't work that well. Yeah. So.
Oh, hey, you don't know until you try.
Yep, I think.
When you publish it, we'll listen to it and then we'll make a decision after.
Yeah, and then you're learning. If you're listening right now and going, you're learning while we're learning. So. It may not return. Anyways, we're going to go now. We're just going to jump right into stuff we watched. I've got 4 things, but some of the stuff that Paul mentioned earlier before we started recording, I've watched too. So I'm going to start with Bad Batch, season 3.
Okay.
That's my favorite Star Wars right now. Nah, I like you go to the first three movies, but that's my favorite. I'm really going to be sad because this is the final season of it, and they're going to move on. But it is so well done. The character developments. There's a real big one going on with. Geez, I love the show, but I can't remember. But the sniper.
Crosshair.
Crosshair, yes, sorry, that's it. Crosshair, and what's his development is PSD, is it? And then his relationship. And then I just really enjoy it. I mean, it's one of these series I want to go back and watch from the start when it's done. The only other movies I've watched quite a few times has been, New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
I've watched Force Awakens, Rogue. I mean, the ones that haven't involved really the Skywalker family, other than the first three, are becoming my favorites. Rogue One, right? Yeah. And now the Bad Batch, and I mean, Clone Wars was great, but Rebels was even better to me. So it's just excellent TV. It's I can't understand how he can produce such an excellent show, Dave Filoni, and then give us Ahsoka with so many problems. Maybe his forte is in anime, not live action.
You know what? Possibly. Because they're all his characters. Like Ahsoka was based on his characters and his story.
Yeah.
So you'd think that you can't really go wrong. To be fair, I enjoyed Ahsoka more than you did.
Yeah.
But again, like I've just said, I am a huge Star Wars fan. So I'm probably a little bit more forgiving where there are legitimate complaints to be made about certain things. I accept that. But yeah, I'm watching Bad Batch too. I actually watched the latest episode this morning while I was having some lunch. So I'm right up to date with it. And the characters are amazing. And when it first started, you think, it's just another kids show. But the way that the characters have developed and the storyline, it's actually quite grown up. I mean, I'm not going to go into too much detail about this show, just in case there's somebody listening to this that tries it who hasn't seen it yet. But there's developments in the show, and the things that happen to certain characters, where it's like, oh shit, this isn't really a kids show.
No,
it looks like one, but it's actually not. And I'm not saying it's like for mature audiences. There's no like extreme violence and bad language.
No.
But it's more mature. It's
the storytelling is more mature.
It's show. It's a more mature story.
Yeah.
Than that. And I like the characters. I'm going to be sorry to see it go, but I'm looking forward to seeing the finale because I want to see how it ends. I want to see what happens with these characters. I want to see how they wrap the story up. So I'm looking forward to it ending, but I'm going to be sorry to see it go because it's one of the better Star Wars properties that have come out of Disney.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Doing it, yeah.
What's interesting too is that their Bad Batch is filling in gaps for poor storytelling in the movies.
Yeah. Yes,
right?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's filling in how did Palatine whatever come back, and they're filling that in. They're giving us they're improving the shitty movies. Yeah, they're improving the ones where the last three. They're improving them so that if you go watch them, and if you've watched Bad Batch, and you can understand, all right, that's how this is coming about. And it's almost like we're going to create a series that's going to help fix the fucking movies.
Yeah. It's like some massive, actual canonical Star Wars movies in the franchise. Literally, episodes 7, 8, and 9 of the Star Wars franchise. Massive budgets. And the Bad Batch is going to fix it.
Yeah.
The Bad Batch is going to fix the story and the plot from those movies. Yeah. It's insane.
Yeah,
that they're doing it.
So if someone says, how would you watch the Star Wars films? Well, it says if you want to really start, you go 3, 4, 4, 5, and 6, and then you can watch the first 3 if you want. But before you go on to 7, 8, and 9, you got to watch Bad Batch. Watch the 3 seasons of that first, then go watch the movies. And it's all, and let's see what, and then, like I'm just doing this top of my head. It'd be 1, 2, and 3, Rogue One, right?
Yeah.
Rogue One, then 4, 5, and 6, Bad Batch, and then 7, 8, 9.
I mean, if you want to stick Solo in there, then you watch 1, 2, 3, Solo, Rogue One, 4, 5, and 6, Bad Batch, 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah, I forgot about Solo. Yeah,
if you really wanted to, then you'd stick The Mandalorian in there as well, so that the end of season 1, I think, is it? Is that the one where Luke Skywalker turns up, or is that season 2? And apologies for the spoiler, folks, but it's been out for a while. Get over it. So that, I think, if you were to watch that, like the finale of The Mandalorian. In fact, it is season 1 because Gina Carano isn't in season 2, is she? So it is season 1.
Yeah.
So if you were to watch season 1, then it would make you appreciate Luke Skywalker sufficiently so that 7, 8, and 9 would perhaps have a bit more of an emotional resonance. But even so, you could probably just skip 7, 8, and 9.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're going to watch, if anything, if you're going to watch 7 and 8 and 9, you have to watch
you are going to.
the Bad Batch.
You are going to watch 7, 8, and 9. Watch the Bad Batch first.
Yes. So,
and then when Poe Dameron says somehow Palpatine returned,
you get a night,
then you can just say, "You fucking idiots."
Yeah. You know why. You got a basic idea why. So, so that's I'm like you want to see what happens. What's that?
I apologise. He doesn't actually say it, does it? It's in the crawl at the start, isn't it? I think.
No, he says it when they're sitting around the ships and stuff.
That was my first thought, and I thought I got it wrong. No, okay.
No, he says it.
Ignore me. Carry on.
Yeah. So, anyways, Bad Batch. Really enjoying that. It's really fun. Okay.
Yes.
Your turn.
Wow. Where to start? All right. Let's stick with sci-fi then. I've been watching Halo season 2.
No,
I don't know whether you've watched any of it at all.
I didn't. I watched some of the start of it, season 1, and got away from it. And when you mentioned it, I was like, okay, maybe I will go and find it and watch it through my other sources. If you're enjoying it, so are you enjoying it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Season 1 was a bit odd because it had sort of Master Chief without his helmet on or without his armor on for half the time. The story didn't really sort of reflect any of what you'd seen in the Halo games. There wasn't a massive amount of action. It was too much plot building without actually getting to anything that the fans actually wanted to see. Season 2 kind of fixes that. We've had the plot building, and now we've got the action part of it. So it's actually much better. I think it's up to where are we up to? Are we up to about episode 8 now? I think we're quite deep into it. It's at 6 or 8, I think, was the latest one. I watched it yesterday. And I forget which episode we're up to, but there's been 1 or 2 filler episodes, and there's a B story which nobody gives a shit about. But and even I'll pre-warn you, there's even quite a lot of time where Chief isn't in his armor again. However, there is more happening. It's more fun to watch. It leans into the actual sort of the lore of the video games. There's certain elements to the TV show that are recognizable as being from the game or peripheral to the game or are connected to the game directly. So if you're a fan of Halo, the Halo franchise, you'll get more out of Season 2 than you got out of Season 1. If you don't give a shit about Halo, you'll still enjoy Season 2 more than Season 1 because there's just more happening. It's a little bit more of it's more of an action movie now, because it's got action in it, and you do have bits of plot and story and character development and all this, that, and the other, as you do in any action movie, and then you get more action. So it's just more fun to watch. It's more interesting. I am actually enjoying it. I'm actually watching it, whereas in Season 1 that turned into a background show like the last season of Discovery did.
Okay.
I was just kind of just sitting through it just because I wanted to be part of the conversation.
Yeah.
Just I knew what was happening. I knew what was going on, so that I could, like, when listening to podcasts or like having conversations at work or something, I was part of the conversation, but I didn't really give a shit about it. But I give a shit about Season 2. I'm more invested in it. I'm more interested in what's happening, and I'm actually looking forward to the episodes coming up in future because I want to see what happens. I'm looking forward to things developing, and I won't give away specifics because it is hot off the press. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's this might be a spoiler, but I intend it to be a teaser. You do see the Halo ring. You do see Master Chief on the Halo ring, and that's pretty fucking special. So if you listen to this and you're a fan of Halo, then yeah, fuck it. Just get stuck in and you'll be rewarded.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll find my other sources and get the rest of it and watch it.
Yeah.
Because I got it was. I'm like you. As it got on, I just didn't had it on and then just kind of paid attention to it, and then basically lost interest. So
yeah. I'm not saying you'll love it. I'm not saying it's excellent. I'm not saying that it's really good. I'm just saying you'll enjoy it. I'm just saying that you'll, if you're a Halo fan, you will appreciate an awful lot from Season 2. You'll definitely enjoy it. It's much more entertaining. The stuff happens, so you'll invest more in it. But yeah, you're not going to come back to me in a month's time and say, "Oh, that Halo, it was all right, but it wasn't brilliant." And I'll say, "Yeah, no, it's not brilliant."
What I'm looking for,
than Season 1.
Okay, that's what I'm looking for. If it's better than Season 1, then I'll give it a shot.
Better than Season 1.
Okay, then I'll give it a shot.
Here's what I'll say about it. Halo isn't as shit as it used to be.
That's one for the poster.
Yeah, one for the poster.
Yeah,
not as shit as Season 1.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so the next one I've been watching is Masters of Air. That series about the World War II bombers, B-51 bombers, I think it is. Yeah.
Is that on
B-17. Yes, it's on Apple.
Okay. Yeah. What's that like then? I'm curious about that.
Yes, it is. I mean, it's hard to take a series like that, and it's done by the same people, Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks. So it's really hard to take a show like that and when you got that masterpiece, a band of brothers, and you have to work with that. I enjoyed it. It was a little bit more. I think it was a little bit more of a fictional drama in a way. I think some of the main characters are real, and some of the situations are real, but some of it in between is, kind of made up in a way. But it does at times when they're at the start and they're doing their first raids on different sites in Germany and stuff during daylight, and you're showing the flying fortresses flying out, and this is when they weren't the masters of the air. They could fly wherever they want. They still had to do with the Luftwaffe and then the flak, and they captured that moment of real fear. If he's the best, I don't know if it's the best way to describe it, but it's like these guys are going up, and there's a good chance that their first mission is their last mission, and for a lot of them. And because they lost so many men, and there's one scene where there was just a huge number of B-17s that went up, and only one came back. Like, they lost everybody. And it's like, holy fuck. Because they didn't have air support, they were just sitting targets, basically. You know, there's as much as many guns you have on it. If you got planes flying by you, shooting at you, it's I can't, it's like, holy fuck, these guys and what they did. And so it follows the 100th Bomber Group and the 8th Air Force Division, and they're out of Eastern England. And it's only 9 episodes. It's not that long. Some of it takes place when some of the guys are just captured. It follows a couple of the guys and what they're going through towards the end of the war. It shows a little bit about the Muskegee Airmen, the Black Air Force Crew, the Red Tails. Very, very, very minor part. I wish they would have expanded on that a little bit more, because they were very welcome when they showed up to help the Flying Fortresses. The acting's good. The story's good. The special effects. I know some people were crying about the CGI, but like, what the fuck? You can't come up with that many. There's maybe 1 or 2 left in the world, the B-17 bombers. So what the only way you're going to get it is by having CGI planes, right? Like, fuck, don't be stupid. I don't know if that's the accent, but hearing me say, just a headline, people don't like that there's so much CGI. What the fuck, the stars all did. You can see how, looking for any comfort they can get. A situation where, this, and it wasn't like some of it's like, you need comforting, I need. I'm male, female, right? We're not doing this because we want. We just need someone, right? This has nothing to do with love. This has to do with comforting each other during these really weird times. So, like, I can't. It's just really. It is really good. There is a couple of times where it's a little low, but most of the time, especially in the scenes when they're up in the fight, and you're seeing what they're going through and having to fight and do what they need to do, and like, I'll just give one scene. This one guy, they show that he dropped his bombs. He turned to say, "Good, I did off. Everything's good," and then boom, gone. He's just fucking gone. The whole front of the thing is gone.
Wow.
So, and it's like, holy fuck. One moment you're here, next moment you're gone. So, I recommend it if you haven't watched it. If you're into Band of Brothers Pacific, this is one you have to follow up with. So,
love Band of Brothers. Obviously, I like Saving Private Ryan, which I think, off the success of that movie, we got Band of Brothers in the Pacific.
Yeah.
I've never actually seen the Pacific, but I believe it's good.
It's half and half, because it has more background with when their guys are at home and stuff like that. Where Band of Brothers, this is right from boot camp right there in the World War II. Which I find a little, but the scenes when in the Pacific when they're fighting, it's like, fuck, okay, yeah, I don't know how you fucker guys did this. So, but yeah. But anyways, yeah, if you can, I don't know, you got Apple TV?
I do. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking for something to watch because we've just finished our latest show, which I'll talk about in a moment.
Okay.
So that might be something that we start next.
Yeah.
We're looking for another drama. So if it's only 9 episodes, it's worth a go, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's not long, and they're all down now, so you don't have to wait. You can watch them. You can make a movie night out of it, 2 episodes, right?
Yeah, we usually do. When we're watching something, then it's at least 2 episodes.
Yeah.
In a night.
Yeah. So.
But it's usually bedtime after that because I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
So I recommend it.
I have something to eat, watch a couple of hours of TV, and then go to bed.
Oh, jeez. So yeah, I recommend it. I do. So, all right.
No, I would probably give that a go.
Yeah.
Because every time I watch like a trailer for it, or when you see a small clip of it, when you're just like browsing around looking for something to watch, I always sort of hover over it and think, I wonder if that's any good. Because I like that sort of thing. I like things about World War II because it's such an important part in like world history. And I just, even though I've seen so much about it, it's like I just feel like I know so little, because I've not read much on the subjects. We didn't do anything about that at school. We learned about fucking like steam engines and prop rotations, that sort of bollocks. I'd much rather been learning about World War II, but here we are. The extent of my knowledge is pretty much TV and film at this point. So anything that broadens the horizons of anything that I've seen before is something that I'm interested in.
Yeah. So
I'll give that a go.
Okay. So then your next one is?
Right. You know what? I'm just going to jump in with both feet and just talk briefly about The Flash.
Okay.
We've spoken about it on the show numerous times for many reasons, and I know that you're boycotting it because of Ezra Miller, and rightly so. However, I did really, really want to see Michael Keaton as Batman again, because I can't tell you how many times I've seen the 1989 Batman movie. I saw it 7 times in the cinema when it came out.
Oh, wow.
I remember that very distinctly. I went to see it 7 times. So this was back in the days when there was no internet or anything like that. You couldn't like bootleg it or anything. You wanted to see it, you had to go to the cinema to watch it, or you had to wait another 12 months for it to come out on VHS, which I did as well. So yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've seen that. Fucking love it. You watch it now, and it's kind of not that great, but I'm extremely fond of it. I'm extremely fond of Michael Keaton as Batman. A lot of fond memories. So I really, really wanted to see Michael Keaton as Batman again. So I had to watch it because it dropped on Sky Movies, which I already subscribed to. So essentially, it's not costing me anything extra. It's just 2 hours of my time. Sit down, watch the movie, and then I'm done. I can tap out of it. So we watched it just earlier in the week, and fuck me, what a pile of shit. They really vomited that out. I mean, holy shit. You can tell that they didn't care about it. They just wanted to get it the fuck out and then move on. Yeah. Because it's basically unfinished. There's an awful lot of the special effects. The CGI is terrible. Fucking rubbish. It's awful. The special effects is like, oh my God. It's like, if Ezra Miller hadn't been an absolute psychopath and there was still a DC extended universe, just based on the fact that arguably the Flash was the most entertaining character out of the Justice League, like the movie Justice League. And all I mean is entertaining. He was the most interesting because he was like he was amusing, whereas everybody else was just sort of like dull as dishwater, basically. I mean, even Henry Cavill, God bless his soul, didn't have a fat lot to do in those Justice League movies, just had to look good, basically. So this would have been a flagship movie if things had been different up to however long ago it was, 5-6 years ago, when they were first starting to make it, before we realised what an absolute monster this fucking guy is. So I kind of feel sorry for it, because I think they would have spent more on it, and they would have spent more money, they would have spent more time on it, and they'd have taken more care over it if they thought that it was going to go somewhere, if they thought that there was a future for this type of thing. Whereas they've just literally just shit it out, basically, just in whatever state it was. I think they've just used an iPad to finish off the special effects, but not even a good iPad. I mean, like the basic model iPad, not even an iPad Pro. You just use like a basic iPad from
10 years ago,
2011, to like finish off the special effects, and then like, there you go, there's your movie, have fun. Having said that, when you first get to Wayne Manor, and some of the music beats kick in, and when Michael Keaton's on screen, it's like, oh, this is fucking magical. Like that first 5-10 minutes when you first go to Wayne Manor, and I was a big old smile on my face. I was like, oh my god, this is like 1989 again. This is so, you go down into the back cave, and you pull the switch, and all the lights start coming up, and the bats start like swarming out of the roof, and the theme kicks in, and the fucking Batmobile's there. Oh, it's like, holy shit, this makes me feel like it's 1989 again, like I'm seeing this for the first time. It was fucking awesome. And that was the best bit of the movie. And everything else went downhill pretty much straight after. Like, even when Michael Keaton's in it as Batman, after that point, after you've got your adrenaline hit, after you've got your smack of nostalgia around the face, then it's just a fucking Flash movie. And it's... I am never ever going to watch this movie again. I've heard Kevin Smith say that he has a YouTube clip saved on his phone where it's just the Batman bits from the Flash movie. He watches those over and over again. And I get it, and I get that, but I probably wouldn't even do that. And I'm a fucking huge Batman fan. I fucking love 1989 Batman, but even I'm not going to watch any of this movie ever again. Even the bits, because it's not going to be the same. Because it's that hit of nostalgia that I felt that made me enjoy it. Whereas now I've seen it, I've had that, I've experienced it. It's not a surprise anymore. So I'm not going to go back and watch it again. I won't feel that way again. And there's absolutely no redeeming features. There's nothing about this film that I want to go back and watch. So there's no incentive for you to watch any of this movie at all, unless you really, really want that nostalgia slap when you go back to Wayne Manor for the first time. That's the only reason to watch this movie. And if you can live without that, then just avoid it, and we'll never speak of this again.
Okay. I have to write down something. I just started when you're talking about it, and I'm thinking I have to really pay attention, because I am paying attention, but I also have to pay attention to the little blurb so I could use for title for the show. And when you said nostalgia slap, okay, that's. So, but I'm like, I just can't bring myself. I said one time, I know maybe it was you and Scott at one time, but somebody else, I said, I just wish somebody on YouTube would take the movie and cut down and just put the Batman scenes in, so I could just see the parts where he's in it, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to watch the whole movie. I just want to watch the parts of Batman.
Yeah, there must be something about that. No, it's just that, it's just off. It just is. It's just ridiculous. But hey, anyway, like I said, we need never speak of this again. We'll move on and we'll forget all about it.
All right. So I've been trying to watch different stuff, just because I wanted something totally different. So I started watching this series. It was from Italy, I believe so. I haven't got it, but it's called Supersex. And it's based on a porn star named Rocco Stifaretti. And so it was just, I thought, okay, this is going to be sort of a docu story, right? But after a few episodes, after watching the credits, it says loosely based on his life. So I kept watching anyhow because I wanted to finish all of it. And it's just about this guy who started up in the poor sections of Italy, and his relationship with his family and his a brother who wasn't really a brother, and finding this he finds this magazine called Supersex when he's a kid. He's just fascinated with it, and it shows him growing up through there, moving to France, becoming an adult film star, his relationship with his so-called brother, and how that's such an up and down, someone he idolized, up and down relationship. How he, at times when you love somebody so much in their family that even though they're shit to you, you still can't say goodbye. You love them that much, and you put up with the stuff he does to you until you get to a certain breaking part. It shows his relationships with trying to become settled down with someone, but he can't, because he's basically a sex addiction, becomes that. He can't do anything but that. His cousin or brothers who suddenly becomes his partner in it and everything, because he wants to be like him. The guy leaves his wife and daughter to work in the sex industry. Not Rocco, but his cousin. And his fascination with his in the village, the woman that he fascinates about when he's a child, his brother ends up marrying. So there's still that fascination with him, but he doesn't. He has a hidden desire for her, but because he's married to her brother, he doesn't. And he just wants to look after her. It gets very compelling at times, and sometimes it's a little weird. But I did enjoy it. There's one scene where his mother passes away, and he wants to feel her pain of passing. So he goes in. He's like 30 or something. And he goes and gets circumcised, which is pretty fucking painful when you're an adult. And so he had stitches, and one side he puts some. He breaks the stitches, and he's got
really making me feel uncomfortable.
I know. He breaks the stitches, and so he's got something on it, puts ice on it, right? And they're sitting in a car, and his cousin leans over to blow on his dick to make it feel better. And he goes, "What the fuck are you doing? It makes me look you're sucking me off." There's this weird shit like that. But it was, like I said, I needed something different to watch, so I watched it because I know this actor. I've seen some of his movies, I won't lie. Not because he was in it, because I wanted to watch the girl. But anyways, it was... If you needed something, and it's better to watch it with the subtitles. But the last few episodes I just watched with English, because I didn't feel like trying to read anymore, which I don't mind doing. But anyways, that's what I watch. I'm not recommending it to anybody. I'm just telling you I watched it because I needed something totally different to watch. So
that sounds different.
And a lot of nudity. Holy fuck.
Really?
Oh yeah, lots of nudity. And I was very surprised. I don't know what it's like in Italy, but the guy's walking around and you see this hammer just flapping back and forth, which is something you don't see in North America for sure, right? That's like a big taboo. You can't show a dick. You can show all the pussy you want, but no dick.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, yeah, okay.
On that note. Speaking of watching different things, I mean, this isn't really too far removed from the type of thing that I normally watch, to be fair, but it might be different for yourself. But have you heard Mark Bernardin talk about Blue Eye Samurai?
Yes, I watched that.
Did you watch it?
Oh, yeah. Wow, fuck.
Sweet. That's it's awesome.
Oh yeah.
It's so good.
Yes.
It's so good. I watched the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I just loved it. I think I wish I'd made better notes.
Yeah.
It's a while since I've seen it.
Yeah.
In fact, I think it's something that I intended to talk about the last time we were going to record, which is a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I wish I'd taken better notes, because I remember at one point there was one episode, and I can't remember which episode it was, and I thought, this show is just fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, I must remember to talk about this bit.
Oh, okay.
With John next time I speak to him. I can't remember which bit it was.
Shit.
There's two bits that stick out at this moment in time, and for people listening to this, you really should go and watch this.
Mm-hmm.
It really, really is good.
Yeah.
And in fact, I'll narrow it down to one bit. I think my favourite bit. All I'll say is, when the hero, the Blue Eye Samurai, gets surrounded by loads of the gangsters from out of that one village, and
is this at the whorehouse? At the
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that one bit, and you've had flashbacks during the course of the series.
Mm-hmm.
You've talking about like the different weapons and different fighting styles and this, that, and the other. And then the hero surrounded by all of these gangsters outside this whorehouse, and you think, Jesus Christ, how is he going to get out of this? And then and all I'll say is, because it's cool as fuck when he ends up with that extra weapon.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of like, we're on video, so I'm sort of like showing John what I mean.
Yeah.
And without actually saying it. It's like, that's so clever.
Yeah.
That is so clever. And it's just amazing, the devastation that follows.
Yeah.
And that was so cool. But the whole show, to be honest, the ending was different to the way that I thought it was going to go. And I don't necessarily think it was a better ending than the one I expected.
Yeah, me too.
So I was kind of disappointed in the ending.
Mm-hmm.
But at least it means there's probably going to be more. Sorry, that's somewhat of a spoiler.
Well, let's say we hope there's more, because you never know at Netflix.
No, that's true. But yeah, it's so good.
Oh yeah,
it really is good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was really good, entertaining. It's very, very well done. Certain aspects of it were probably somewhat predictable, but an awful lot wasn't. And all of it was very well done. Highly recommend. Really good show.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it myself. I was the same. Mark kept talking about it, and I said, well, let's give it a shot. And then I was hooked. I had to watch the rest of it. The fight there's, well, so we don't spoil it. The lead, can take a fucking beating, and
more than once,
and then come back. Very impressed by that. That, I mean, it is a style of where in martial art movies where the hero does take a beating and was able to win at the end. So it's nothing a different trope or whatever they use. But for this character, it's amazing how strong-willed this person is to continue the go. And and then they went back. Was it? No, it wasn't a back thing. But at one point, it goes on this path and just realizes that this is not what's supposed to be happening for me.
Yeah.
So, and has to leave a couple people. Definitely leave these couple of people and go on that path that she is trying to find redemption. And it's I don't know how. I mean, there is white guys in Japan, and then they closed off. I'm sure, but without going back and digging in how it's just very entertaining, very well done. Animation is great. The voice acting is awesome. It's and I kind of agree with you. The ending isn't what I wanted, because to me at that point it became another trope of a lot of stuff. How we moved it. Oh, we'll use this. Okay, we're going to use this story that we've seen like a dozen times. We're going to use that. We're going to plug it in there. So, so that's the only downfall for me. They should have not followed that trope. Come without with another reason to do what she needs to do. And because I have a little difficulty with the season 2 because what she does and how she does things, how's that going to play out where she's going to go? Because that's a totally different society where you can.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's the thing. I think when I saw that, and I thought, I can't see how season 2 is going to be as good as season 1, based on the direction the story took.
Yeah.
If this were a live action movie, the ending would stink of a studio getting involved and say, no, don't end it like that, because we want to make more, because we think we can make more money.
Yeah.
So change the ending, change the ending that you wanted to do, a good ending, and do this instead.
Yeah.
Because we want to be able to do more of it. But with it being animation, maybe it was always going to be that way. But if it was live action, I would be absolutely convinced that this was a decision that was made after the studio saw it and thought, oh no, we can actually make more money out of this. So change the ending.
Yeah. Totally.
So disappointed. But if there is a season 2, we might be very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
It might be excellent, and we might think, thank fuck there's a season 2. But we shall wait and see.
Yeah.
But aside from that, season 1's excellent. Everything else.
Yeah. The next one I watched is a South Korean TV show. It's called Hellbound, and the basis is unearthly beings deliver condemnation, sending individuals to hell, giving rise to a religious group founded on an idea of divine justice. So, what it basically is, for some reason, this entity comes out and tells someone, "You're going to die, a certain day, certain time, and when, and you're going to be sent to hell." So this one guy that it's broken up. It time jumps. I think there's 6 episodes, but episode 3 it time jumps ahead a little bit because the guy that's walking around talking about this himself has been he's in trouble himself. I'm trying to figure without giving it away, but anyways. I found it interesting because it's some reason the Asian countries, Japan, South Korea, they come up with some really weird and interesting stories that it's like, okay, and the translation doesn't always work because no matter if it's made by Japanese or Korean, it's made for that audience. It's not made for an international audience because they're telling a story to their main culture and how their culture thinks and how they tell stories there. So when you get to North America or England, the transfer doesn't make sense sometimes because they're missing something. They're missing from the story. I don't understand how this happened. They're not giving this, but sometimes in there it's like doesn't matter. The audience will just take it. So it goes around, and this cult they start to use it like anything else. They start taking and use it for control. They start to control the population. They want them to do this. They want them to be better, but mostly it's we want control. Like we started we said, I don't know if it was before the show or during, someone always wants to have power. And this is what this group starts to use it. Because at towards the end of it, and there's going to be a season 2, everybody thinks the people that are getting this entity is coming and telling them they're going to die, they've done something wrong in their life. They've gambled or womanized or something like that. so that's the only part they talk about. Well, there's one part where someone's getting told they're going to go to heaven, and you know this person hasn't done shit, and they don't want this to be seen because then they know it's all bullshit, right?
Okay.
So I found it just weird at times, simply because I couldn't translate it in my head, moving the story, like they were missing something. They never explain what this entity is. They just kind of accept it, that it's there, but we know it's not doing everything it's not supposed to. It's picking everybody, and this cult's taking advantage, and we need to bring down this cult to show people what's going on. It's cool. They have some reason for over there. They can do special effects and shows. It just looks cool. Like they got these 3 big ghost entities coming out, and they're not ghosts. They're just like big hulking things. And I find it interesting, instead of just grabbing this person and taking the hell, they beat the shit out of them first.
If you're going to hell, then yeah. You know,
so we're going to beat the
not?
fuck out of you first, and then we're going to send your soul to hell. But it ends on a really interesting note. So it makes me, okay, theirs is going to be a season 2. It says it's coming. If we weren't recording this, I'd tell you. But it makes me go, okay, yeah, you know what? Even when you're watching it, when they're speaking South or Korean and translating the subtitles, you're still like, okay, you're fucking missing something here, but this isn't made for me. So I really enjoyed it. And just as a man, the main female lead character is cute as fuck. So that helps.
Okay,
Yeah.
where is that, on Netflix? By any
Yes,
chance?
it's Hellbound. It's 6
There we
episodes.
go.
So
6 episodes as well.
Yeah.
That's an easy watch. Isn't
yeah,
it?
it is. I'm pretty sure 6 or 7, but it's split into two. Because you think at one point this is only 3 episodes. The lead looks like they're dead, and the main bad guy lead, you know, something bad happens to him. And you're thinking, well, how are they going to tell the rest of the story now? But they do. So, anyways, so that's it. If you get a chance, give it a shot. Just see if you like it or not. Try it with the subtitles.
Yeah. I usually do watch things with subtitles if they've got them. What's it called again? Hellbound.
Yeah. I mean, there's some people who can't stand reading while they're watching, but
oh, I don't mind it at all.
yeah, I always find that if you listen to the original version, you get how it's being. The actor's doing it, right? The actor is doing it, saying it. Translation doesn't always come over. The actor translating it is trying to emphasize how the actor was doing it, but it doesn't work.
Well, as far back as watching Bruce Lee films, back in I think they were actually made in the 70s, but I think it was probably the 80s when I actually got to see them. You know, when your VHS started getting passed around.
Yeah.
But as far back as that, the English dub was not great.
No.
So I've always preferred the native language to the dub version with any film. I've usually preferred it with any film. I'll always watch with the subtitles. So yeah, I shall do that. That's on my list as well.
I just want to add something here real quick. It just popped in my head. I was watching some Jackie Chan stuff online.
Yeah.
And there was one scene where Jackie and this other guy are just beating each other with these fucking chairs or something like that. And there's a pillar, right? And they're fucking and they stop and they both go behind the pillar. They're going, oh fuck, oh fuck.
Oh, that sounds familiar. I've seen that.
Fuck. They peek around the corner. I go tough. Ow. They come back all.
I can't remember what that was in. Was that in Project A or something?
I don't know. It was just a clip because I was watching. He fought this one guy in this one movie. It was really good fight scene. Really good.
Yeah.
And then you want something on YouTube. Oh, this guy's watching this. Let's throw all this at him. So, anyways, I do. I just had to bring it because it's just enjoyable, you know. Okay, that's it for all I've watched. So we can go on with your stuff because most of the stuff that you had talked about, I had watched. I just brought 4.
Right.
So
Okay. Well, rather than me go on and on and on, because some of the stuff is things that I've watched like since the beginning of the year because we haven't had a chance to really speak about it. So there's no urgency.
okay.
So the one thing that I will bring up because it's quite new is the Gentleman series on Netflix.
Oh
Is that one of
yes.
you've seen.
Yeah, I've seen not all of it, but I'm up to the gypsy part.
Okay, yeah.
They've hired the gypsies to take the stuff across. I think that's where I stopped. So,
right, yeah. I've seen the whole thing. I think there's 8 or 10 episodes, something like that. Now we were talking about this in work the other day, and the first question that I'm always asked is, do you have to see the movie before you watch the TV series, or is it based on the TV series? And the short answer is no.
No.
It's a TV series based on the movie. Yeah. And the short answer is no, it's not. It's by Guy Ritchie. Yes, it's called The Gentleman, but there's nothing else common to the movie and the TV show. No. So you can watch a TV show without watching the movie. The movie is good. It's worth a watch. You don't need to see it before you watch the TV show. So the basic premise for the TV show is there's a guy, he's in the army. He gets called back to England because his dad is the Earl of something or other, or the Duke of something or other, and he's on death's door. So he goes back to England. His dad dies, and he inherits the title and inherits the estate. And it turns out that there's a criminal enterprise based on his land. So he gets involved with a criminal organisation, and that's pretty much the premise of the show. He wants out. He wants them off his land, so he's got to jump through a few hoops and make a few deals and get involved more than he perhaps wants to. But I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. If I'm being completely honest, I think it's at least 2 episodes too long. I think there's too much filler. All these deals that he has to make, all these hoops that he's got to jump through, all these obstacles in his way to get this criminal organisation off his land and get things back to normal. It goes on too long. There's at least a couple of episodes where it's like, oh yeah, this week, now you've got to go and do this. It's like, why? I mean, let's just not. And what's going to be the difference? So yeah, I think it would benefit from being a little bit shorter. I think the story that they're telling is good. I think that most of the characters are good. The brother, like the absolute sort of the
dickhead.
What's the best word for it? The dick? Let's just keep
dickhead.
It simple.
Yeah,
the dick of a brother.
Yeah,
he's probably the best character in it. He's really good. I didn't catch the actor's name, but he's really good in that role.
It's really weird. I know him from one role, and I watched a Netflix series called was it The Game? It was about the start of British football.
Oh right, okay.
And he was in it. Okay, so anyways,
his face is familiar, but I couldn't think what I'd seen him in. But he's really good. I mean, it's good. You know? It's kind of a Guy Ritchie gangster thing. I mean, there's a couple of scenes in it where it's Guy Ritchie's clearly just he wanted to use a particular camera angle or a particular filming technique just for the sake of it, just because he thought it looked cool. Sometimes he's right and sometimes he's not, but it never adds anything to the story. But that's just Guy Ritchie, you know, it's the way that he films things. It's not as good as films like Snatch or Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. But it's good.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like Halo Season 2. You'll watch it and you'll think, I enjoyed that. But, you know, you would never put it on your list of top 10 things that you saw this year. It's not that good. You just won't be disappointed after you've watched it. You'll think, I'm glad I watched that, I enjoyed it, and then you'll move on to something else.
The only problem I've had so far with it is that they use the trope, and it's like, fuck, can we not do this? I've seen those so many fucking times. It threw me off the show. It's when the one guy, so the scene where the gangster comes to the house, he has another guy to count the money, right?
Yeah.
So the guy that's counting the money, he wants to make sure this guy gets away without anything happening to him and going to, so they make up this story about this guy, tells it to the gangster, the priest is his name or whatever.
Something like that.
Yeah, telling him how it happened.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they have to get the guy's passport, and he goes back to the thing, I thought, fuck off. No. How stupid can you fucking be? This is a trope that you pulled out. You decided you're going to use it in this film. When honestly, this guy is not that stupid to go and do this right away. Right? The lead actor, the character is not this dumb. He has all this experience. And suddenly he decides he's going to do this after doing that.
Yeah.
Right? No. And I said, this ruined it for me. I said, fuck. Yeah. This fucking ruined it for me. But I kept watching, and if they just edited that out and just left, somehow figured another way for this situation to happen at the end with the guy on the boat, right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they use it to have to tell us, oh, fuck, no. I hated it. I hated it so much. So
see, that's just filler. That was just so
I know.
Get the episode up to an hour.
I know.
It didn't need to be there. They didn't need to do that. They could quite easily have just taken this guy somewhere else where he didn't need a passport.
Yeah.
But they took him somewhere where he needed a passport. No one carries a passport around with them, so they had to send this guy to go and get the passport from out of this guy's flat. And it's like, this is like 20 minutes out of the day that I didn't need.
Yeah.
And like you say, it's like, yeah, but why would you?
Yeah.
It's why would you? And how the fuck can you be so careless about it? Because you're not a stupid person.
Yes.
And you're an officer in the army. How can you be that careless and that fucking stupid at the same time?
Yeah.
For something that you don't need to be doing in the first place.
Like, why wouldn't you think that the bad guy would have someone and keeping an eye on the place so this guy comes back, right? Like, fuck, the character's not that goddamn dumb, you know?
Yeah. There's going to be at least one other scene in a later episode where you're going to think, why? Why have you done that? There was absolutely no reason for you to have done that. You've not got there yet, but you will.
Okay.
If you watch the rest of the
series. I will.
Yeah, the next time I speak to you, I'll remind me to bring it up, and we'll see if we agree.
Okay.
But there's a sequence, it lasts, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes again. It's just filler. It's just like, you don't need to be there doing that. It's not adding anything else to the story at all. This is just a plot device, just to fill 20 minutes where you could have easily have just not bothered and just found out exactly the same thing in a different way, and you didn't have to do any of this because because ultimately it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it's guilty of that. There's a couple of instances where it's just poor writing. It's just like, it's like they signed a contract with Netflix. Yeah, we're going to do 10 episodes and they're all going to be an hour long. And then when they actually sat down to write it, I thought, fuck.
Yeah.
This is not a 10 episode, 10 hour story. So they had to just fill it out. They had to just pad it out with busy work.
Yeah. And so far they found the rest of it fine, you know.
Oh, yeah, aside from that, it's good. Yeah. It's a good series. Yeah. You know, I enjoyed it. But it's not really good.
No.
Because the issues that he has stop it from being really good. Because you don't enjoy all 10 episodes.
Yeah.
There's certain elements of some episodes where you think, I'm getting bored of this now. And then there's a couple of episodes where you thought, what the fuck was that about?
Yeah.
But ultimately, at the end of it all, you think, yeah, that was actually pretty.
I mean, if you're 20 18, 19, 20 or younger, and you see that scene, you're gonna think, oh wow, wow, okay, yeah, that was. But if you're my age and you've seen that so many fucking times, it's like, come on, something different, please. So, but yeah, I'll finish it because the other parts I've seen have been pretty interesting. With the gypsy so far, and I think there's a connection between the guy that runs the house and his mother. They seem like there's something that happened between them at one point, and so because
you're probably not wrong.
Yeah. So, because just the way they interact with each other and stuff. So.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I like the actor too. He's always played a tough guy in all of Ricky's
Vinnie
films.
Jones.
Huh? Vinnie Jones.
Vinnie Jones.
Yes, Vinnie
Used to be a
Jones.
footballer.
Yes. And I hear he had quite the reputation too when he was a
Yes, he did. Yeah, there's a very famous photograph of him stood just like grabbing the balls of the player behind him.
Fuck. All right. Yeah. Okay. So, is that it? Because I actually might just keep my stuff, my reviews on. Well, I'll just get a quick comic review, not review comic, but a story. Nemesis Rogues Gallery. So Mark Millar is down. He's now working with Dark Horse. He's went from Image to Dark Horse, and so he's taken everything that he's done. It's still his. As
well, that's the point of Image, wasn't it? Create their own property.
So Netflix owns his stuff to transfer to film or whatever, right? But at comic book form, that's his. I go wherever the fuck I want. So he decided to mix over, move to Dark Horse for some reason. I didn't really go back into it, but he's your Nemesis. And now, you know anything about the character Nemesis?
No.
Okay, so
I'm going to say no. The only Nemesis that I know is from 2000 AD, Nemesis the Warlock.
Okay, so this guy is basically a reverse Batman.
Okay.
He's a psychopath.
Oh, that does ring a bell, actually.
He dresses in all white, right?
Yeah.
He's a millionaire or whatever, but he just he's killing. I know very little of the character, but what I know, he's just a psychopath and he just kills,
Yeah.
And so at the end, there was a there's a series. Let's see, I gotta change my glasses here. Fuck shit. I gotta do every big fucking print on one letter on each page. Sorry, shit.
It's no joke, is it?
Yeah.
I had to change the font size on my Kindle a couple of weeks ago. Make it slightly bigger.
That's what I did with most of it. So there's certain things I copy and paste I didn't. So, so Nemesis Rogues Gallery is a secret sequel with Dark Horse Comics. It's coming in July. It's only 5 books, and it comes after a 5-issue series, and it comes after Rogue Big Game, which is a series in which he brought a lot of his characters into one. All his universe characters, Kick-Ass. Shit, there's so many of them. Kick-Ass.
Did you do Kingsman?
Yes. Oh, yes. Kingsman was in it, and then
Wanted, I think.
Wanted was in it. Jupiter's Legacy.
Yeah. Did you not? I can picture one, but I can't think of the name anyway. Yeah.
So he created this. He created this great big universe of different good and bad characters, right?
Yeah.
And so this is his version of a DC Marvel crossover where they have all the good guys, one big story. Except you didn't have to buy every fucking issue. He took them all and put them in 5 issues, right? You didn't have.
Right. Yeah.
If you didn't know. What?
Yeah, they didn't all have like a prelude to,
Yeah.
and then sort of an aftermath and all that
Yeah.
shit.
So he had like Super Crooks, Nemesis. So what did he write for? There's just so many. He created his own. He's worked for Marvel and DC too, but he's just a prolific writer and stuff. He just has all kinds of stuff. Kingsman, Wanted, Kick-Ass, Hit Girl. He takes them all and brings them all together. And at the end of it, with the help of Empress, he did a new book called Empress, and that is a Jupiter Legacy gets involved. Because Kick-Ass is basically the genesis, just like Spider-Man in a way, or Fantastic Four was the genesis of superheroes in the Marvel universe. You know, everything spread out from them. Kick-Ass, everything spread out from him to this. You know, and so he's actually the birth of the Mark Millar universe. Magic the Order. There's a group of vampires they're heroic. They're good guy vampires, right? And but to get down to the genesis of the book, at the end, all the bad guys have been taken care of. Order's been restored, but Nemesis is in a hospital. He just beat the fuck out of him. But this is his plotting his revenge on all the heroes, and this is how the story takes place. And what I like about Millar's books is usually it's about five issues, 6 issues, and that's it. You know, he might do a sequel to it, like Kick-Ass. There's Kick-Ass, and they did a Kick-Ass too. But the self-contained stories, instead of having 500 issues where they breaking it down like they do with regular books, which they don't do anymore. They used to do is just, you know, consideration. Here's a story arc, ends at issue 16. From 16, we start a new issue arc up to issue 20, but the number stays the same. Now they change that. It's like, you know, we're coming up with a number 1 Spider-Man again, but actually this is issue 515,000, but we're going to call it number 1 because we just started another storyline, change the artist. But, so, yeah, Nemesis, Magic Order, Nightclub Ambassadors. There's a whole bunch of fucking books this guy's did. So now he's starting a new arc where the world's back to where it's kind of supposed to be, but Nemesis is around. He's gonna do. I have no idea where it's gonna go. I'm kind of making shit up. All I know is he's planning to fucking go off and hunt down everybody who fucked him over. So it's basically it, right? He's a bad guy. You fucking fuck me over. I'm gonna fucking get you now.
So they've had the crossover, and the bad guys lost.
Yeah.
So this story is about one of those bad guys going after the people that kicked shit out.
Yeah.
So is it going to essentially be a crossover, but from the bad guy's point of view? So it's got all the heroes in from the other books, and it's just the one bad guy.
Probably. I'm just guessing, but he's the guy.
That sounds quite interesting.
Where now I'm alone, and for now, because you know he's got to be good and evil, right? Yin and yang. For now, and then he's gonna, you guys, you know, I'm gonna get you back for fucking me up. I don't think he's so much getting him back because he killed all everybody else, because he doesn't. He sounds like a character who doesn't fucking care. You know, I care about myself, and that's it. Even if we're on the same time for now, I'll shoot you in the head, sort of thing. But it's 5 issues, so I'm really interested. I get a lot of Millar stuff now, so just so damn weird. And that's it. You know, I might save these for myself when if I have to do the show on my own, because
that's not a bad idea.
It's just comic news and reviews. So but so yeah, I think that unless you've got something else you want to bring up, I think we can call that a show.
No, No, I just had a long list of TV and stuff, but all the contemporary stuff, the stuff that's on at the moment or has finished recently, we've already covered.
Okay.
The rest of it is just stuff that I've been catching up on that's been
All
out
right.
for a while,
Okay.
so that can wait.
I think I
So
gotta
we can
start
talk about
making
that
notes.
anytime.
I gotta start writing down every stuff I've watched, and that's why I have it, so I don't have to go back and find it. I just when I'm sitting on my ass or walking on my treadmill. Oh, I'm watching this show. Write this down. So
Yeah.
Unless the situations change, I'm gonna have to start doing more of that again, like I used to.
Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, my circumstances aren't going to change much.
Yeah.
It's still going to be like once a month.
Yeah. So you're
Best.
like the only thing I suggest for next show, if you can get a couple comic books in, read a couple comic books, and then we can add that to the show.
Yeah.
But it'd probably be the same thing. I'll send you. I'll talk about this off the air. Fuck it. People don't want to listen to us talk about stuff we're going to do after. But anyways, again, thank you for if you spent the time and the download. I do appreciate it. Thanks. There's a lot of podcasts out there, and if you got us on your listen, there's not much more to thank. I usually insult the audience, but this time I'm actually going to be thank you. So anyways. So until next time, which I don't know if you're listening and you've noticed fillers from old TV shows, that's what I'm going to be doing too. Finding public domain shows that I can put up, and so you have something if you want to listen to. But yeah. Okay, folks. From me, goodbye. From you?
Bye as well.
All right, folks.
Don't think of anything more interesting to say.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, my mother thanks you, my father thanks you, my sister thanks you, and I thank you.
That's all, folks.
Thank you. Come again.
Why, you little?